Warning, this is a movie discussion as well as a movie review, but mostly a discussion. There are lots and lots and lots of spoilers. So, John Wick will fuck you up. That's the part they left off the movie title. John Wick will fuck you and the 237 niggas you brought with you all the way up. In order to really enjoy this film, honestly, you have to look past John Wick's superhuman ability to never miss a headshot while simultaneously never catching one either, no matter how many bullets are flying at him. He did miss that one headshot that one time, though. We'll talk about that later. So, the movie is not the most realistic thing I've ever seen. It's an action flick. But I did enjoy it, and I do have some observations about it. Keanu Reeves is John Wick, an ex-hitman. Is that his government name? Don't they have like some contract killer code names? I wouldn't want to be a notorious hitman using my real name. Anyway, we all know his wife's arrangement for that dog to be sent to him was really code for this better be the only bitch you have up in my house. Nonetheless, John loved the dog. He fed him cornflakes and shit for breakfast. I'm gonna need this surprise doggy delivery service to deliver some goddamn dog food to people with their goddamn dog. Anyway, so here comes Yosef, apparently played by Theon Greyjoy himself. Okay, he's played by Alfie Allen. And Yosef is the son of Viggo. Viggo is played by Michael Nyqvist. And Yosef and his idiot thug buddies, they kill the poor dog and they steal John's car. He just got the dog like yesterday. And Viggo tells Yosef, John Wick is coming for that ass. But he wants to protect his son. So he tries. A for effort, right? So, on to observations. Viggo, he sent like this hit squad. I call him a squad because it was like a dozen of them. And he hired them to kill John. And they just mosey on into John's house. They just stroll their asses on in there. It looks like the doors were even unlocked. Clearly, John Wick is waiting for them. John Wick, the man Viggo said you sent to kill the boogeyman, Baba Yaga, the man who killed 3 men with a pencil. So why didn't somebody come up with a better plan than this? You just gonna roll up on an assassin in his house in the dark? And he knows you're coming? This is y'all plan? This is what y'all came up with? So Wick kills every goddamn body. Then he calls in dinner reservations for 12, which is a front for a body cleanup service. And this is when you get your first look at this underground hitman world. And I liked it. I was impressed. They have their own currency, their own rules. And once you're in, you can't get out. It's pretty cool. Not the not able to get out part. How the fuck I'm gonna be a hitman forever? We need a hitman relief program or something. You can't apply for new jobs. What type of shit is that? So anyway, John Wick did get out. Okay, it turns out he used to work for Viggo as his best hitman, and Viggo allowed him to leave by allowing him to do an impossible job, which supposedly laid the foundation for his current business, which is like the head of the Russian mafia. So how had Yosef never even heard the name John Wick? It's only been like maybe 5 years. I can get if he had never seen him, but he didn't even know his name, and he's supposed to be, John Wick is supposed to be this legend who's largely responsible for the success of their business. So I really, I didn't get that part, but whatever. So Viggo, after his squad dies, he puts a $2 million contract out on John Wick. And then he personally asked Marcus, played by Willem Dafoe, to do the hit. So Marcus, who was at John Wick's wife's funeral, he agreed to do the job after like 1.2 seconds of consideration between sips of his kale celery juice. And I was like, this looking like a green goblin in real life ass nigga. But it's later revealed that Marcus is really just trying to protect Wick. Okay, I'm sorry about that, Mr. Defoe, my bad. Continuing with my observation. So John, he goes to Viggo's nightclub to kill Yosef. And he kills everybody in that bitch except Yosef. Even though he shot at him, I don't know how many times. The one person he was trying to kill in the first place made a clean getaway. So this next part pissed me off. Perkins, she's all game to take Big O up on his offer to murder John Wick, and she is like willing to break a major rule, which is there's no business at the Continental Hotel owned by a guy named Winston. Winston is played by Ian McShane. How you come to own a hitman hotel, I don't know, but he does. But Perkins appears to be the only one who don't give a fuck about a rule. Ain't nobody else trying to kill John except her, let alone kill him at the Continental, and she goes after him while he's asleep. But he fights her off and decides to take it easy on her. Come on, she tried to kill you in your sleep. I would have broke her fucking neck. And he would have been dead if it wasn't for the Green Goblin. So fuck that shit. So Big O eventually catches John and he ties him up. Finally, Big O has the upper hand. Game over, right? Wrong, because Big O is an idiot and he talks hella shit. And then Marcus conveniently has the perfect open shot to snipe one of the guys that's about to kill John Wick. And let me stop right there for 1 second though, because all these goddamn guns and shootouts, this whole movie, it's time to finally kill Baba Yaga, and your weapon of choice is a Ziploc bag. Y'all just executed a priest in broad daylight at church, and you reach for a Ziploc bag when it's time to kill John Wick. How convenient that he was able to escape. So anyway, John catches up to Viggo, and Viggo tells him exactly where Yosef is. You know, he spilled all the beans in exchange for his life. He didn't even try to lie. He gave up the address, the coordinates. I guess he figured, fuck it, you know, he done everything he could. Wick went up there to where Yosef was being protected. And this scene, pretty much like the rest of the movie, plays out like a first-person video game headshot challenge. This dude probably gets like 8 kill-taculars throughout the whole movie. Once again, nobody can kill John. They know he's coming. It's like 15 of them. He gets hit by cars. It doesn't faze him. He kills Yosef, and it's all over, right? Perfect tale of revenge, right? Wrong again. Here comes this fool Viggo again. He kills Marcus, and he calls John Wick, like, up on the phone to taunt him. Nigga, the shit was over. He got his revenge. He let you live. He fucked up your whole Russian mob, and your son is dead. And you start some shit back up again? So at first, when Wick drove back to Marcus's place, I was like, don't do it. It's a trap. But it wasn't. Viggo was gone. Wick went after him. They end up in a fist fight. And Viggo, his old ass, pulls out a knife. And then, in one of the most you knew better than to fuck with this nigga moments I've ever seen, Wick takes Viggo's hand and stabs himself with the knife so he can gain possession of the knife in his body. So he can take it back out and stab the nigga back. What kind of gangster shit is that? I'd have been stabbed and dead if I was John Wick. My whole plan would have backfired, and then that would have been the end of the damn movie. So Viggo dies, the end. At first I thought Viggo should be punished for doubling the payout if someone broke the rules at the Continental. But then I remembered that Winston, he told John where to find Viggo. So I guess Winston wasn't pleased with Viggo. And he also had Perkins killed. So apparently, they were out of line. So, whatever. They had to go. So my dislikes, it was really cliche. It was painfully cliche. Down to, the epic tale of John Wick killing 3 men with a pencil. They really could have done without that story. Or just made it more realistic. Could it have at least been a pen, something pointy, a fork, anything. And of course, John Wick killed like 137 people. I say a good 83% of those were headshots. Which brings me to my next dislike. But yes, I know, I already stated. It's an action flick, obviously not expected to be the most realistic. But can somebody aim for this nigga's head? He's wearing a vest. None of y'all can put a bullet through his head or a knee, a foot, something. All these bullets flying at him and nothing ever really hits him. And my next dislike, there was this one character I didn't like or understand. And his name was Avi, I think. The guy played by Dean Winters, the Allstate Mayhem guy. He was really, a close to Vigo. Like his right hand, or I don't know if he was a lawyer or an advisor. I don't know, but he wasn't a street guy. But he doesn't even speak Russian, and he just doesn't fit in with this crime organization. Yet he's always around, and Vigo is always saying things to him in Russian that he doesn't understand. I'm not sure if this was added for comedic effect, but it just seems silly. Such a serious business, and I don't know. I just thought that was silly. So overall, my likes. I thought Neo pulled off John Wick. The character itself was really dry, and some of his delivery, was just dry, and he didn't talk much. But for what it was, Keanu Reeves pulled it off. The overall casting and acting was good. Plenty of action. The plot, vengeance stories are absolutely nothing new. But I thought this was well executed. Sometimes predictable, but very well done. Um, the character development. John Wick's character was obviously the most developed. Within like 2 minutes, you realize how much he loved his wife and he misses her. I would have liked a little more background on how he became a assassin. I don't know. Maybe we'll get a prequel one day. We're rooting for him, but I think we forget that he's an assassin. We're assuming he only kills bad people, but he's still an assassin. So, in conclusion, like I said, there were a lot of cliche and unrealistic moments, but that was it. I still think the movie made up for it in other places. So I give this film a 7. Let me know if you agree. Follow me on Twitter, MovieBuffChick1. Subscribe, like, hit me up.